This is Week in One with all your stories making headlines this week. I'm Bongiwe Khumalo. We begin with this. Women's Month began on a bitter note with the suicide of Khensani Maseko. Her family and friends say the law student's death must not be in vain. The 23-year-old Rhodes University student was allegedly raped in May and became depressed. At her funeral, there were calls for authorities to develop new plans to end gender-based violence. Kaya Khumalo has more.
I don't know how I'm going to carry on without you, but I trust God will make a way.
An emotionally charged affair as a relative reads words written by Khensani Maseko's mother to say her final farewell to her daughter.
You were a model child, an inspiration to many of the kids in our family, amongst our friends, our neighbors. They all looked up to you.
Speakers hailed Maseko as a committed young leader at Rhodes University, someone who was selfless and always keen to help her peers. But some speakers believe that if the institution had acted differently, her death might have been avoided.
You are cowards, Rhodes University. You have taken away our deputy president, former deputy president of Rhodes University, SRC. You have taken her away, and for that we will never forgive you. You have blocked her from opening a case at the police station. She would be alive today if you did not do that. Those useless policies that you have that deal with sexual offences are not helping our children.
The institution has since suspended the man who allegedly raped Maseko.
We must confront and challenge those systemic social and cultural myths, beliefs and practices that normalize and perpetuate sexual and gender-based violence.
Maseko died by suicide after she was allegedly raped by her boyfriend in May and then suffered depression. Maseko's family is pleading for privacy as they lay their daughter to rest. They say they are hoping her death will not be in vain and that justice will prevail. Kaya Khumalo, Nasrec, Johannesburg.
Now in Johannesburg, an 8-year-old girl is recovering from severe injuries after being raped. Her mother says the child is scared even of doctors trying to help her. The little girl was found by a stranger in a veld after the horror attack last Sunday. Zekona Chona spoke to the mother. Please note the story contains graphic details.
Uthe uzongibulala and uyazi nokuthi ngifundaphi. Ungayi esikoleni uzongibulala.
This young mother's eyes remain closed as she repeats the words her daughter's alleged rapist said to a little girl. Her daughter is only 8 years old. On Sunday, she became worried after the child did not return from playing with friends at her usual time. She went on a search with neighbors and friends. About 3 hours later, she finally got some news.
Should mangichamuka kanje khona umunye umama la uyamemeza la egedini lakithi uyangimemeza ukuthi hayi nangu umntwana utholakele lenzansi bathi urejiwe lakini happy athi mama ngiyaxolisa bengisaba ukuze endlini lo baba lo ngishiye emahlathini kusakhanya.
The young girl says she would be able to point out the alleged perpetrator.
Umntwana makasho athi yena bekasendleleni ebuye ekhaya ethuze ekhaya so wahlangana nalo baba lo ekhoneni wathi hayi asambi ngithunywe ubabakho.
The child is in hospital now and can only walk with great difficulty. Doctors have told her mother she is severely injured and won't be able to pass fluids or solids naturally.
Uyasaba nalapha esibhedlela like abodoctor abaningi like abantu bamadoda akafuni.
This man was dumping waste at the veld when he saw the girl. He demonstrates how she walked towards him. The family has opened a case with the police and are hoping an arrest will be made soon. Zekona Chona, Johannesburg.
At the same time, President Cyril Ramaphosa says a war is being waged on women's bodies and South Africa is losing. Ramaphosa was speaking at a Women's Day commemoration in Paarl in the Western Cape. At the event, a group of protesters confronted the president, demanding an end to farm evictions. Peladi Situsa has more.
Women taking a stand to highlight the need for an urgent moratorium on farm evictions. President Cyril Ramaphosa responds by saying women must be key beneficiaries of land reform.
Let us ensure that there is equitable access for women to the land in both the rural and urban areas. The land should not only be parceled out to men. We want the land reform process to be a mechanism through which we economically empower the women of our country.
Speaking at the government's main Women's Day event, Ramaphosa and struggle stalwarts focused on the need to tackle South Africa's high rate of gender-based violence, the highest in the world.
We know that those who got away with raping and killing women continue today and do so because they know they will get away with it. They know police do not have the capacity, nor at times the sensitivity to deal with these many violations.
The president agreed that not enough is being done to change practices and attitudes that feed into violence against women. He announced that one of the total shutdown march demands made last week would be met by the end of August.
Government has agreed that this National Gender Summit should take place on the 31st of August to forge consensus on appropriate approaches that should be taken on an urgent basis to deal with the crisis of gender-based violence.
He also launched a gender-based violence robot, a color-coded guideline to what is healthy or unhealthy in a relationship. Piladi Situsa, Paarl in the Western Cape.
The gloves were off, the safety pads were on, and knees and elbows were flying at a self-defense workshop for women and girls in Johannesburg. NGO Action Break Silence hosts these workshops to teach women techniques with which to defend themselves if they are attacked. ENCA's Michael Apple went to the workshop.
A knee to the groin, gouging at the eyes, an elbow to the head, disarming an attacker. These are just some of the techniques being taught to women and girls in Orange Farm by NGO Action Break Silence. The message: fight smart. Your fingers are 10 little weapons, so don't punch. Use the adrenaline and listen to your intuition. Debbie Stephen, herself a survivor of rape, has held these workshops around the world. She trains trainers in a community so they can empower its women.
We're trying to get people in communities to be upskilled, just really about empowerment, to get them to actually be able to teach their communities. And really, really important, there are so many people making money in international, not just in South Africa. There's so many people making money out of self-defense. And my thing is, this is a life skill. This should be offered to everybody free of charge. And that's one of the things that, one of the reasons why I set up Action Break Silence, is I didn't want it to be about money.
We asked one of the trainers what it feels like to teach women skills they can use to protect themselves.
Nami ngiyithena ngifuna ukuthi no lezi zinto zenzeke life yabanye abantu. Kubhlungu ubona umunye umuntu akhawatheka umbhekile because izwe sobhlungu this thing. So kuzomela siphile njengabantu singaphili njengezilwane because izilwane azinangqondo yokuthi no zingacabangela omunye umuntu. Into ezicabangela zona self. So thina sibabantu sinenhliziyo uzomela sizobhlungu sinama emotion siyafila. So masibona omunye umuntu akhawatheka uzomela simdefende.
Rhoda is a survivor of 18 years of abuse. She eventually broke the silence and sees herself today as a warrior, no longer a victim.
We have to stand as a women and fight for ourselves. We have to stand as a women and say action and break the silence as a women.
The organizers of this event say it's not at all about promoting violence, but simply about teaching women the skills and techniques to be able to defend themselves.
And it couldn't be a better day on which to teach those skills and send that message. Michael Apple in Orange Farm, in Johannesburg.